I belong in this land, and whenever I'm away from it, I have to come back. And just being here, I suppose you can say, gives me inspiration. I was born here to Charles and Alice Hope, and we were brought up in this house here since about 1933, 34. My mother always passed to me that she was proud to be an Unangan and talked about it. And so I was fortunate enough to know a little bit about the culture because of her. We had a good childhood, picked berries, roamed the hills, and then the changes came. Nobody knew what was going to happen, especially after the bombing. And there were all these rumors and everybody saying, well, you're going to be shipped out, this and that. And finally we were shipped out, a great big steamship come in here. And they said a couple of days we had to pack and couldn't take very much. It was very exciting for us kids to be on the ship like that and really not realizing what an impact it was going to have on our life. Slowly went out the bay, and right out in the bay and looking back, we could see my father and brother out here, and they were waving. And when we got to Wrangell Institute, we saw trees, and we had one room, one bunk, 5 of us, a table and a chair. I can remember when we came back, they took us down to Captain's Bay, and we couldn't go home the first night. We were parked there overnight. My dad came and we got to see him, and then they put us on, especially as kids, on the back of trucks and rode into town. It was so wonderful. It was so wonderful to get home. Sam was in the Army, and met him and married him when I was 20. And we were together 64 years. And after he got out of Vietnam, we wanted to keep the kids down in high school down in Seattle. We stayed there until one summer we came up for vacation. And on the way back on the plane, I said, Sam, let's move back to Unalaska. And he said, let's go. Because I never wanted to be away from Unalaska anyway. And Sam loved it also. My daughters, I mean, I've always talked about the culture with them and whatnot. But then they were disappointed that I didn't learn how to weave. And so when I was 48, I got a book and taught myself to weave. I think through the years, with all the different people coming in here and having to discover new ways to live and survive, we had to learn how other people wanted us to live. No one else was here to show me how to do it. When Sam and I moved back to Unalaska, we walked the beaches and I found some whalebone and decided I'd try to do something with it. Sat down at the kitchen table, had an X-Acto knife and a melon baller, and I was very surprised that I could make these little masks. And a couple of my friends came in and oohed and ahed over them, so I decided to go on and try to make some other things. They had their annual art show, and I put them in, and they were sold before the show started. So I thought, I thought, well, that's interesting. And so I kept on working. Sam set me up a good little workshop. I thought that our people were such artists. I love working with the thought of how they had to struggle to do it. Good grief, how could they do it, really? Actually, this ochre is probably some ochre that they used, and I enjoy putting it in every piece that I make. Takes lots of grinding to get it down. Really is a beautiful color. my granddaughter and I were talking about all these ideas in our heads, and I told her that I'll probably never get to do all the things I want to do, and all the things that I have in my head that I want to do, because I'm getting so ancient.
She carves the old bone down to shine, to the shapes music takes in her mind, its pulse and pull. In her hands bone recalls wail, breaking the surface, the flensing and feast, figures motionless, as if for the moment only, stalking the verge of song. To the measures of her people's past she makes the beach bones dance.
If I feel like doing something, I'm going to do it, and do it for my own satisfaction. And I think that when you do that, you get a better result, when you do what you want, and when you're happy doing it. So I think that's what I will do. And you know, I've keep thinking, you know, when I'm got this great big stone and I'm turning it every 20 minutes or something, I think, why didn't I paint? You can get discouraged, and I have to say that I have been very lucky. I've had many people who have encouraged me. Don't quit.